Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your January 2022 general reading. This reading is for the Aquarius collective, and as such, it may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't, that is okay. Sometimes that is preferable. We're all of different ages, at different stages of our lives, going through different experiences, living in different places with different situations, etc. So this reading today may not be for you. Maybe the next one will be. Maybe it won't be. So we will be using the Rider Tarot deck today, as well as the Universal Weight deck. We're keeping things classic, simple, and straightforward. Okay, your cards are cleansed. Okay, so let's shuffle. Shuffle your cards. Okay, let's see what we have for you today, Aquarius. Eight of Swords, Six of Cups, Five of Cups, Ten of Cups. Wow, Aquarius, that's 3 cup cards in a row. So Aquarius, what I see here is that given the nature of the events that have been going on in the world, that you have been struggling to a certain degree. Now, generally, you are a sign of great balance. A lot of people seem to think that Libra is the sign of balance, and that may be true, but I think that Libra is more of an external balance, whereas you are able to balance the different aspects of your personality. So you might be very outgoing, but also very independent. You might like to be social, but you also want to have your alone time. You enjoy being amongst your friends and having a good time, but at the same time, you like to be by yourself and decompress. So you're very good at balancing the various polarities of yourself. We all have them, but some signs balance them better than others, and you're one of the signs who balances things very well. But what I see here is that the lack of these external connections that you thrive on, the lack of having those as you wish, of being able to talk to people and see people as you wish, of not having now to change to, for the most part, video or remote interactions, that's having an effect on you. Now you're thinking about your relationships and how they used to be before all of this started, and how much you enjoyed that. And you're having a really hard time, but you're not showing it externally. What you're saying is that I'm okay, but are you? You're saying everything's okay, but is it? Because deep within, you know that what normally comes easily to you in terms of balancing your emotions and your thoughts has gotten just a bit more difficult. And you're craving having those interpersonal relationships. That's missing from you greatly. Okay? So even though the way we interact has been modified, you're still sensing a lack there. You're, in a sense, grieving over these losses, even though they're not necessarily losses. In some cases they are, but they're not necessarily losses. They're just modifications. You're having a really difficult time with that. You want to get back to how things were. You want to be able to engage with people in person the way that you used to. So the change in these interpersonal relationships is affecting and changing you. But let's clarify further. Strength. Six of Swords. Two of Cups. More cups again. And the Sun. Okay. This is very optimistic. And it's interesting, Aquarius, because one of the other readings I did, I believe it was for Gemini, it was about Gemini, looking at their interpersonal relationships and having a second look at them because they're not so good. For you, it's the opposite, okay? So a lot of people view strength as physical strength, but we know that that's internal strength as well, or the strength of the mind, or the strength of being able to overcome different aspects and challenges in your way or within yourself. Okay, and that's what it is that you need to do here. You need to get that resolve, which you have plenty of, Aquarius. Okay, you have a lot of resolve. Get that resolve and try to just, muster that up and be able to adapt to the situation. Okay, now with the Six of Swords, a lot of people view this card as someone leaving a situation. For you, it's the opposite. For you, this is going to turn around because they might be leaving a certain situation, but they're headed off to safer land, as you can see there. So for you, these tempestuous times will end, or at the very least, they'll settle down. They might not disappear exactly, but they will settle down. And a lot of it is with you either meditating or finding a way to maintain the relationships that you have, the relationships that you crave. Find a way to just bolster them and support them and nurture them, okay? And the Two of Cups, indicative of a union. So once you get that resolve and just, focus on yourself and how to just perceive the situation differently, you will be okay. The Sun is considered one of the happiest cards in the deck. You will get there. You will definitely get there. Okay, let's clarify further. More swords. Aquarius, you need to be kind to yourself. Very nice way to end the reading. Okay. You need to be very kind to yourself and you need to nurture yourself, not just the relationships that we're talking about. Yes, those definitely need to be nurtured, but you need to nurture yourself as well. So there is a certain sense of melancholy here because of all of this. Again, looking at all that has been lost or looking at all that has changed and not looking at what's there, okay? And the Nine of Swords indicates the same thing, that these are things that are bothering you. These are things that you are thinking about. You would never really tell anybody about this. You would never admit to it, but these are things which are on your mind. But I do see things here resolving by your own ability and your own internal strength, okay? It's interesting because it's Four of Swords here and Four of Wands here. The fours are considered very stable cards, okay? They indicate stability. In the Four of Swords, that's an internal stability, okay? The Four of Wands is an external stability because this is a structure. The fourth card of the tarot deck is the Emperor. And the Emperor is the one who guarantees stability. He rules over his empire, in a very strict way. Everything is in order. I's are dotted, T's are crossed, etc. So these two cards tie back to the Emperor. So I see here that relatively quickly, you will achieve both external stability and internal stability in the very way that you seek. And the Wheel of Fortune is a lovely way to end the reading because it indicates that as within, so without. Okay, what comes up must come down. The cyclical nature of all of this. So you will, and I like the fact that these three cards are at the end over here and are very, very positive. You have the Ten of Cups, the Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune. That better times are on the horizon. Don't mourn these relationships. Build them up so that when you are able to engage more frequently and in the manner in which you wish, there'll be strong foundations there. So I love that these three cards are all the way to the right and end the reading that way with this row. And I love the fact that we have the internal stability of 4, as well as the external stability of 4, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So this right here, oops, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is pure optimism. Things will get better, Aquarius. I promise you, you will be back to your normal, balanced self. Okay? That's what I have for you today, Aquarius. Thank you so much. Until next time.